What's up, everybody? It's the After Show, but later, episode number 173. It's your boys D and El Kukui. If you're joining us on Patreon, we apologize because a lot of technical shit going on right now, so we couldn't stream live today. But yeah, man. I mean, episode number 173.
The dial-up failed us today. We got dial-up.
It failed us. Like, first the camera wouldn't connect, then the camera connected, then the mic stopped connecting. I just really want to just do this shit another day. But here we are.
Here we
are, after show, but later. Kukui, you know what? Well, I guarantee we'll make this feel a little bit better.
A bong rip.
Yeah, and also the homie Baseline Trey. Should we go to him real quick?
Let's do it. Let's bring in Baseline.
Baseline, let's go, man.
About the flavor. Mm. 707. See, he likes 757. I love 707. That covers where E40 and Mac Dre are from. That covers Napa Valley. That covers Mendocino. That covers Humboldt County. I mean, 707. I mean, 757 is probably dope too, but got to give love to the 707 as well.
Does Mendocino have an N? Is it Mendocino?
No, it's Mendocino.
M-E-N-O? Mendo?
M-E-N-D-O.
I don't know why. I've always thought it was Mendocino.
No, it's Mendocino County.
You learned something new, though.
I felt some ghostly vibes. They got a haunted the Mendocino Hotel, bro. They got a restaurant and a hotel, and like room 4 and another one supposed to be haunted. And I stayed in that motherfucker, and I didn't see nothing, but it felt weird. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like it was phase 5 in me in my sleep.
Phase 5. Oh, you know what? There was something. Oh, actually, I don't know why this reminded me of Rich. You said phase 5, but I wanted to give a shout out to Rich because, dog, he's been liking a lot of our posts and commenting on them. And even earlier today, I was like, hey, we're gonna go live in a little bit on Patreon, and I put the link. I was like, come hang, and he was the first one to like it.
Yeah, Rich.
We ended up not going live, so I mean. But I appreciate the support, Rich. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So we bag on him a lot, but you know it's all in good love. We love the dude.
No, we do, absolutely.
But yeah, we have a lot of shit that went on this week, dog. A lot of shout outs to give, a lot of stuff to cover. So where do you want to get started? I never ask you. Where do you want to get this shit started?
You know what? The first thing they were talking about and Rich was talking about, do you do all inclusive if you go out of town to like Mexico or Jamaica or the Bahamas? Do you do the all inclusive? At the resort, or do you save $80 a night and stay at like just a hotel with maybe a restaurant where stuff's not included?
I've never done all inclusive. I've never even really had like an actual vacation like that. Like I'm gonna go here or there. Like I mean, honestly, wherever we've gone, like let me see, we went to Disney World, but that was not inclusive, and we stayed in a hotel. I don't know. I guess that was a vacation, but it was like for the kids and So it was.
Let me paint a picture for you. So let's just say you were going to Mexico for 5 days and you did the all inclusive. And I'll give you an example. I went to Cozumel a while back, and they do this in Jamaica and a lot of other little vacation resorts. But basically, when I went to Cozumel, the buffet, there was either a breakfast, lunch, dinner, or late night buffet open 24 hours. So at any point in the day, if you were hungry, you could go to the buffet, and it was decent too. Was it as good as like a bomb Mexican restaurant? I wouldn't say that, but it was good. I mean, scale of 1 to 10, it was about a 7 or 8, and you could get beers. I mean, they cut the beer off at like 3 or 4 in the morning, but it was all included, and it wasn't just included when you went to the bars. They filled up a personal refrigerator that I had in my room, and they stacked it with 12 Pacificos, and once I killed it and called them, they brought 12 more. Mm-hmm. So it was cool, but when you're getting faded like that at the spot, you don't really leave too far because everything's kind of right at your fingertips. You can get in the pool, and you can go to the poolside bar and the swim-up bar. All drinks are included, but I like both. I like to stay at the all-inclusive, especially if I'm in a drinking mode and we plan on getting hammered. But after day 2 or 3, I got to go get tacos or food somewhere else. Like, I got to get the hell out of there, and I got to go to, like, the Mexican version of Walmart. I forgot the name of it now. But then I go get some snacks and some water to try to rehydrate, and I do both. So I'll do the whole all-inclusive thing, and it's convenient, and it's fun, and the drinks are good. and the food is pretty good and it's worth it. But at some point, I got to break out of that spot, and then I have to go do other. So what? Actually, real quick, I'll wrap this up. Short story long. That was Cozumel, but the last time I went with Augustina, and we went to Puerto Vallarta, and what we did is we stayed for 5 days, but the first 3 days I stayed at all inclusive. And because those are also always kind of like 5 or 10, 20 minutes away from the actual heart of the city. They don't throw the all inclusives most of the time right in the heart. Like they don't do that. They're resorts that are kind of farther away from the action. So you got to Uber or drive or taxi or whatever. So what we did, we went for 5 days. In the first 3 days, we did the all inclusive thing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday night, bro, we went downtown by the boardwalk, and we stayed down there and did that shit. And it was pretty dope because the food was still cheap and you got to try different stuff.
Yeah. So would you say that it's worth it if you're gonna dip out and not have it the entire time? Is it still worth it to you?
If you're a boozer and you and your lady think that you're going to probably have more than 6 or 7, 8 drinks throughout the day, and that might sound a lot, and I mean, you might hear some little, well, cool, he said 8 drinks a day. Yeah, fucker. When you're there for the whole day, you're going to be hungover in the morning because you probably had 7 or 8 at night at least, right? It's all you can drink and it's free except for the tip. And then you're going to have a couple Bloody Marys in the morning to nurse your hangover. And you might even have some at noon to go swim in the bar and go snorkeling and take a nap. And then you're going to start boozing at night. So like in an all-inclusive, I don't feel like 8 to 10 drinks a day is very much at all, because I could drink that on a good night with 2 blunts. You know what I mean? And that don't even matter, you know. And if you're not driving and the food and everything is there, why not booze all day, bro? Just walk back to your room and take a nap when you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's your plan, do the all inclusive. But I wouldn't pay the extra 80 to $100 a night if you're not going to at least, you know, booze there half the day and eat. You could, you know, because tacos are cheap, especially in Mexico, and so is beer.
Yeah. 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 Thank you. But yeah, I think, yeah, I've never even I've never even entertained the idea of going all inclusive. So yeah, it's something to think about, you know?
Well, it kind of evens out too, because like if you do stay, I think they call it the Macion. I forgot how you say boardwalk in Spanish, but
La Boardwalk. You're welcome.
La Boardwalks, the Manhattan.
La Walko the board.
It's the wood walk. Anyway, but when you're staying down, you know, I think the all inclusive is usually about a couple $100 a night. Let's just call it $200 at a good deal, bro. I mean, you can get a $100 room in the heart of everything and probably still eat for less than that other $100.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be able to drink 10 or 15 drinks each for under $100 and eat. But like if you're just having like a 6-pack and you're having dinner and tacos, if you know, it's cheaper downtown. So it just depends what the experience you want. And I'll be honest, I like them both. I can hit hole in the wall dive bars and have random tacos where I don't even know what the meat is. And I like the fancy shit.
Is a hole in the wall dive bar one of those where you walk up to it and you the hole that's right there?
I've never done that, but I'm sure that gets done.
Or okay, I don't know.
That's a glory hole dive bar.
Oh, a glory hole dive bar. Okay, just making sure because I didn't know which one was which.
Hey, that's a GDB.
What, Kennedy?
Yeah, you can't teach her about GDBs.
Well, just go to Disney or something and put a movie. Bubba, you know Mommy would want you watching Disney or something right now anyway. She wouldn't want you on YouTube right now. So just go to Disney or Netflix or some shit under your account. Okay? I know. Oh, man. Sucks. Hard life.
Rough out here, bro.
I know. It's hard out here for a 6-year-old, Doug. YouTube's giving her problems, so she's like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Like, her world's falling apart, you know? But like
I ain't ready for fractions.
She's got a whole day tomorrow, like from like 7 a.m. I'm gonna run all day.
We talked about that. You're an animal dad for that, bro. Like I raised a bunch of kids, and there were no too many whole day events. I mean, like track meet's only a couple hours.
Yeah, no, like and see, and I think a lot of it comes to the whole day event because my girl's involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that makes it the whole day. Because if you're just taking your kid to something, they do their shit and you bounce, then cool, whatever, you know. But like tomorrow, we're gonna be, and like she's like, I'm gonna be helping and throw shit together and everything. We got to be there at like 7 or 8. I forget what time it is, but it's gonna be a whole day event. So I'm just like right now, and Kennedy woke up sick as today, so we've been having her just like try to chill the whole day. And so yeah, dog. But anyway, dad life, you know, just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
man, you're a better man than me, bro. I'd be there for the kid, and once the kid shit's done, I'm out. And she's like, "Well, hey, I still gotta work." And she's like, "Yeah, but you don't come to my school and do what I do. I gotta go later." So respect to you.
Yeah, Doug. The other day, and real quick, my daughter was like, she was saying something, and I was like, Kennedy, I go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not very smart. She looked at me and she was like, you're smart. And I go, why do you say that? She goes, because you're a manager and you work at the college. I was like, oh, I guess that means you're smart according to a 6-year-old, you know?
That's great.
All right, dog. But yeah, but all inclusive, very cool. Did you hear that that famous dude that was at Covino's resort?
I don't know. I've heard most of the shows, but refresh me.
There was this dude that it must have been like '08, maybe '09. I don't remember. There was this dude named Fred. He was like one of the first YouTube people that like went viral and shit. And he would be like, "I'm Fred." It was like this redheaded, ugly white kid. That's, you know. It was just this white kid.
Well, you already know right there once you said that. I don't know him.
Yeah, well, it was some kid who maybe, dog, like around the time my sister was kind of young, like I don't know, but it was one of like these first viral YouTube dudes, and he was at Covino's resort. So I guess when he was doing his archery and shit, Jordan was like, "Hey, I think that's Fred behind us," and I guess his real name's like Noel or some shit. And they were like, "All right, you're next. What's your name?" And he's like, "Noel," or whatever the his real name is, and so I guess that dude, and I guess he was like really good right off the bat. He's like, whoosh, you know, and Covino was all weak at it at first. So yeah, but anyway.
Oh, archery, yeah, fuck. Who plays with bows and arrows, bro? You ever play with one?
Yeah, dog, I'm good. Bullseye every time.
I mean, I'll fuck people up with a slingshot. I got a wrist rocket with them steel BBs. I'll fuck somebody up with one of those, but I never played bows and arrows.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
You have a wrist.
I got the little home. I had the one with the suction cup at home and shit.
Yeah, no, you have that wrist rocket. I had a dog when I was a kid. He had a red rocket, but I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing.
Oh, bro. Yeah, no, we didn't have a riot. Yeah, I know. We call it lipstick out here in California.
Oh, yeah.
Paint lipstick on someone's face.
Oh, yeah, no.
Stay away from the red rocket, bro.
Oh, I'm dying over here.
I got a buddy named Red Johnson.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing, Doug? I know he left before, you know, the chaos and shit. And how's he doing?
He's over there at Paper Plains in Sacramento, and so yeah, he's doing good.
Good for him, Doug.
Needs to work on his hygiene a little bit. And if you listen to Red Johnson, you know what I mean. But he's doing good.
Doug, I never understood bad hygiene. Never, dog. I remember one of the most awkward conversations I had to have was with somebody at work, and it was and I was like, hey, you know, just kind of make sure you kind of, I don't even remember how I went about it, but just kind of like, hey, make sure you kind of take care of yourself or whatever, you know, however the went about it. And it worked, you know. After that, the dude was clean and shit. And but like everybody in the office,
you ever had to have that conversation with a girl?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'll tell you this. I worked at a Save Mart, and I won't reveal my location, but Tommy B and Bernie Mac can back me up. There was a lady that worked in the service deli.
Yeah.
And she used to wear a wife beater, and we had brown shirts at the time. And bro, you could see the sweat outline as she fried the chicken. And we used to always say, hey bro, if you want chicken today, it's extra salty. Because she's sitting there sweating over the fryer. She's the one breading it up. Like, oh, it was not good. And the store manager had to have a sit down with her and tell her she stunk. Like, we would be in the break room, and I didn't even have to hear the footsteps. I could smell her down the hallway before I could hear the footsteps.
Yeah, no, dog, it sucks, like, when people at work have that reputation, because, like, there was a chick
That ain't
that
a reputation. That's a problem.
that was like, yeah. I remember there was somebody. I I mean, okay, I'm an asshole, but I refer to her as Stinky.
Are you the hair around it too?
Nah, but I
Okay.
remember like my sister would be talking to her, and then she'd like, whatever. I'd walk up and I was like, hey, so what did Stinky have to say today? And she'd be like, oh, because it was like everybody knew. And I'm sure like people had conversations with her about it, but she still was like,
Yeah.
hey, I am who I am, funk.
No, you're not. No, that's who you're choosing to be because 99.9% of humans don't do that. So no, that's who you're choosing to be. If that's the unique way you want to stick out and be special, more power to you. But I'm not selfish, okay? And I say this because I'm not selfish. And if you can smell me, that's me being selfish and lazy.
Yeah, no,
You owe it
100%.
to your fellow human beings to not with their smell and their senses because you have poor hygiene. You want to have eye boogers and fucking jizz on your face or whatever the you want to do, that's on you. But if I got to sniff your ass because you don't take care of yourself, that's a selfish ass move and you're a scumbag.
No, and I remember Doug. She never looked like. I mean, she wasn't good looking by any means, but she was like always kind of put together. And I'm like, Doug, that was just the. I mean, if you would have
Ugh.
just like,
Ah.
if you would have just like bathed and used deodorant, I mean, it would like people would have been like, hey,
Bro, you know
good
what
for
that
her.
is?
What?
You know what that is? My mom, she's from Colorado. We used to go back there, and they have these cherries, right? And she loves these cherries. And I remember the first time I bit into these cherries, I was so happy, and I grabbed like two or three cherries, and I put them in my mouth, and immediately I was like, ugh. You know why? Because they were sour cherries, right? She's the chick where you think you're getting a sweet cherry, and then you get close, and it's foul, it's fuchel, it's fuchi.
Well, you don't even think it's that.
Her cherry's sour, bro.
Yeah, but you don't even think it's dope to begin with, like But it's just like okay.
Oh, I thought you said she was okay and well put together.
No, she was okay, but I'm saying like for as okay and well put together as she could be.
I do better with the number scale on a 1 to 10. Where was she cracking?
She was like this, but okay. I'll rather than giving you a number, let's say like Mama June, right?
Say no more.
Let's say Mama June.
No, we're
would,
good. You did. I get it.
Had and like would put makeup on and like decent clothes.
Earmuffs. Traumatized. We got a show to do at this point, bro. Let's come on, man.
All right.
Mama June, what? All right, cool.
Oh yeah, there we go. But
we couldn't compromise the show.
oh, Doug, there's yeah. I gotta write something down.
Cavino's Bruno Hakalugi.
Uh, let me see. Hold on. Okay. Cavino, what'd you say? Bruno Hakalugi.
Remember on I forgot. I think it was Cheech and Chong. They called him Bruno Hakalugi. You ever seen Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, dog, but not since like the mid '90s.
Oh, but yeah, no, he's got what's he got?
Was it Up in Smoke? Born in
I
East
can
LA.
relate. I can relate with them a little bit. I felt hella bad when they were saying about the melody thing and the embarrassing because out of all the kids' lives I've been a part of and shit, there was one that not to me because I didn't stay get in her business and do shit, but her mom tried to and she tried to control her and it was so I know where he's coming from. It's tough as a parent when they reach that age and where they're like, don't embarrass me. So when he said that, I felt the connection because I got it.
Yeah. I remember, Doug.
Appreciate these years, bro, while they love you. Because once they hit a certain age where they want to do your own thing, it's like you're on their nerves all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, Doug. I'm really not.
You grow out of it though. You do. It makes the because he's got a such tight relationship with her to begin with. You can't break that. And so she's just kind of like going through the motion real quick. You know what I mean?
Well, he even said like 10 minutes later, she was like all laughing and so it's just part of like that time in a kid's life where they're moody and shit and.
But it's funny though because, bro, like kids and not just Melody, like but kids in general, the things that they complain about, like seeing their dad spit, the shit that I witnessed growing up was, I don't know, man. Like we had a fight every day. I'm not even playing. Like I grew up and Rudy lived in the Fresno Flats, and there was a lot of people that were just they were ruthless and scumbags and just walking through there at the wrong time. Like, dude, we always had a fight and we always had to go with shit. I think the last thing I was concerned was with my pops embarrassing me. I remember one time, hey, my pops played everything by the book. He did. He followed the rules. He didn't really speed. He didn't really break too many rules. But I remember one time there were some gangsters out front, and I was to have to go out there and fight, and they tried to jump me, and my pops came out swinging and chased one of those down the street.
Yeah.
But that's shit. I mean, that's just, So these kids, I don't think, she's never gonna have to go through that.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah, I'll just keep it at that. I'll keep it at yeah.
Well, their challenges are different. I understand that. Their challenges will never be ours. But I sometimes reflect if they would see what an 80s child went through, especially like one in not a great area, especially one in California, not a great area, like they got it pretty good.
You know what? I actually wanted to bring up something. We had a listener actually submit a topic that was, I guess, piggybacking a topic or, in line with the topic that we talked about last week. So last week, we talked about there's somebody on the show was talking about their mother and father meeting, and their father was like, 34 and their mother was like 9 or some shit. So they heard this conversation. They completely agreed with us. And I'll give him a shout out. It was actually Dirk that hit us up. And he was like, yeah. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He's like, how do you guys feel about when there's like a hot teacher and like a young kid, like a 13, 14, 15-year-old?
That's okay. I fuck. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with me. If it's a dude on a girl student, unacceptable at any of those ages.
Yeah, I feel you. And it's a double standard, but I don't give a. I feel
it's a total double standard. Like I wish that shit would have happened to me when I was 14 or 15. Like maybe if I was 12, they might be crossing the line. But I lost my shit when I was 13, anyways. Why not lose it to the hot ass teacher?
No, you know what? I had a friend.
We'd be talking about that now if that happened to me. I'd be like, no. Listen, that would be a story now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who regret. Someone has to be getting in these little kids' heads and making them think that they did wrong or something, because I don't know, man. I mean, maybe cut this out of the show. But
yeah,
like once they're 14 or 15, tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't that their dream come true?
Well, yeah. No. And see, okay.
They're at home jerking off to that teacher anyways. Don't lie. If that teacher's hot, they done squeezed one out already to her.
Yeah. No, and I had a friend that hooked up with a teacher in like 8th grade maybe. And this dude never said anything about it, never. But this teacher was like a big old hoe. I'll be real, right? And
like Cypress Hill, be real.
And yeah, and
from the bong.
And she, he was perfectly normal. I mean, growing up, he felt like high school, hooked up with like hot, like now normal ass life, has a couple of kids and shit, or one kid. Normal ass dude, wears black a lot, is fat. No, just playing.
I'll say this. I had a hot little Chiquita when I was 13, and I was hella sad when that shit didn't work out. I don't think any teacher could have made me feel any worse than that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And we weren't scandalous. Like, I think when I was growing up, we liked having secrets and we liked knowing shit that no one else knew, because we felt privileged and we kept that shit close to us. I would have never held that over their head or no like that. That's yeah. We talk about that on the show all the time. That's sucker. Why would you do that?
Like maybe was it sophomore year of high school? There was a teacher named Miss Navarro, and she was so bad. If she would have touched me, dog, I would have just I would have lived happily ever after.
I'm gonna do it. You know what? You got my juices going right now to tell some good old stories. Check this out, bro. I was in 6th grade when I met Tip Dog. That's how deep we run.
Yeah.
Right? 6th grade. And I know he follows the Lord now, and he might not like the story, but it's true, right? The young Tip Dog and him will respect it. We met. We were in a smart class. I'm not going to bullshit you. He was in 5th grade. I was in 6th. They had a combined. Remember GATE when you were little?
Gay?
Like the GATE,
Oh,
GATE, the GATE program. It was like for like smart kids and shit.
well,
That was
we
us.
had one called Odyssey of the Mind, but it was same.
Same, same shit.
Yeah,
So we were in a combined class with kids that tested on that level, right?
same, dog. That's why we're smart dudes.
I'm telling you. So in this class, we had a student teacher. Her name was Mrs. Derrick. And boy, she came in wearing these tight shorts and leather jackets, and she was hotter than fish grease. I mean, she was fucking fine, right? And all our little pitos got all duro and shit. You wore sweatpants and fucking boop in class, right? She was bad, bro. And me and Steve Ramirez talked Tip Dog into going and grabbing her ass. He was in 5th grade and he ran up and grabbed her ass because we dared him.
Uh,
Right?
yeah,
In 5th grade, motherfuckers 10 or 11 years old grabbing the student teacher's ass. We're not telling.
Doug. I remember. Okay, now you got my going. So I remember 6th grade, Doug. Right. So you know how you're like a walking boner in like 6th grade, right? Every
Yeah.
24/7
Sweatpant boner.
So Doug, so I still remember I was wearing these white basketball shorts, right? And and I was like,
And did you wear them because you wanted the girls to see your boner?
well,
You didn't
let me tell you the story. So
had to get up for your book report and your fucking schlong sticking out.
no,
You tuck it in your boxer waistband.
well, let me tell you. So I'm sitting right there, right? And if anybody from my growing up hears this, hit me up and I'll tell you who it was. But there was this black chick in my class, right? I mean, and by that there was like 2 or 3 in the school. So take your guesses, Doug, right?
So all your homies know who this chick was.
So Doug, so she was like, I was like, hey, chick or whatever. And I was like sitting right there and it was just rock hard off to the side. And I go, hey, she's like, what? I was like, I can make it move. And she was like, what? She's like, shut up. She's like, you're stupid and shit, And I was like, no, for real. She's like, no. And I go, check this out. It gave it a little
Motion, a little high rise, a little flop,
right? A little fucking. She's like, ah.
Hey, look, hey, like listen to some good ass Bay Area rap music. It's all Bob.
Dog, have you seen that little like GIF or whatever with like all those black kids when they stick a magic trick, and they all are like, oh, dog. It's like one of the most famous GIFs ever, right? But it's like they like show this group of black kids like a magic trick, and they all start slapping each other and running in circles and shit. That was her. That was her. And I remember she was like, and I was like,
did you get her to touch it?
Nah, no, and I didn't want her to. I mean, but
why are you making the dance?
Because, dog, I was just like, hey, check this shit out. Like, I just was like, hey, cool, but it was funny because I remember it was like, and she was like, oh, dog. Oh my God. That was dog. I haven't thought about that memory in like 25 years. Like, no lie.
Hey, even when we were 19, I remember me and Columbo and Brendan, we would rent strippers and shit. Me and Columbo worked at Me and Ed's and we'd get tips.
Dog, you see how different our lives were? I would rent video games.
No, hell no. We had our own pad. I got busted. I selling some weed or cut that out. But anyways, I got busted at like 19. Pops kicked me out and shit. So me and Bo, that was my roommate. We got an apartment. I had to move out, and I asked Bo. I was like, "Hey, you want to move out too? Let's be roommates." And yeah, so we got a pad, and we both worked at Me and Ed's, and then we let Brendan move in. And no shit, like once or twice a week, we'd rent a stripper because it would cost like $120, and they come by themselves to the pad and they just dance for you for an hour instead of paying 20 for a lap dance. Well, we were all sleazy, and we would all go get on like gym shorts and sweats because
no draws,
jeans. Well, you're trying to get as skin tight as possible because you're trying to get them fucking excited.
Yeah. Oh, duh.
This episode took a turn.
It did because I'll tell you a dirtier story, dog. You want
No, I'm leaving that out. Trust me. There's. I could finish that story with something that's gonna. Some people are gonna say "cuckoo," and some people are like, "Man, I'm not listening ever again."
Okay, dog. So I'm gonna. Oh, like, all right. Get
Go for it. I'll let you do it. How's that?
I don't even know if I want this shit on the Patreon, But
Hey, you've got a more forgivable face.
okay, this is scandalous. All right, I remember. Okay, so I was in Flagstaff during the summer because I used to go to this
Was,
another one of those programs you
was
talked
your
about.
flag staffed or what?
Well, check this. So we go,
And staff it.
and there's this. This was sophomore year of high school, maybe. I don't remember. And it was either or no. It was 8th grade going to 9th grade that summer. I remember.
Okay.
Was it? I don't remember, dog. We were young. Well, we had one of the nights at our little retreat and shit. It was we had like a dance or whatever.
A retreat? What? Yeah, band camp.
It wasn't a retreat, but there was this program. We'd go up to NAU to the college, Northern Arizona University.
They make
Stay
you
there.
pray?
We would stay there for a week. We would go to class and give you like the college experience and shit or whatever. And we'd go every year from like 7th grade up until when we graduated high school. And so you would meet people, and it was the same people returning every year. So you had your homies and shit. Shout out to Tobias and Brandon and all the homies from back then. But I remember there was this one chick named Meg. She was fucking bad, dog. She was so fucking bad. And so we had this dance like the last night or whatever, right? And I remember we're, bumping and grinding on the dance floor. That was like your shit, Yeah, so yeah. I kept dancing with this, and I danced with her, and then go the homies ever come. Hey, she kept like just like rubbing her into like my balls, right? And I was like, oh my god, this feels so bomb. So dog, so oh my, I don't know how many like we kept dancing, dog, and I didn't like blow a straight up load, but
you are like rich.
So dog, oh my froze.
Yeah, dude, you should start talking about loads.
Hold on. So Doug, like, in how I don't know however many dances or whatever, right? And afterward, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I blew a load, right? And I don't know if it was just some PJ,
or we used to call those bloaties,
or if it was straight up nut. But Doug, I was like, fuck it, I was ready for a cigarette, dog. I was like 11. It's been a long night,
ready for a joint and a soda.
Oh fuck, dog! But it was so funny because, oh damn, she was so bad, dog. And I just remember like, oh yeah. But it wasn't just me, dog. She was a little whore. She was dancing on everybody. So I was like,
hey, speaking of, I used to have relations with this Hyena, and every time she needed a soda after, bro. I'm not lying. She'd be like, I need a soda pop. I'm like, oh wow, is that good? How you need a soda?
Doug, okay. Now, all right, now
I can't deny someone a soda after a good little stabbing.
This shit, dog. Now this definitely ain't going on the real shit. But you ever make a squirt so much that like afterward, like you guys need to, she needs to like hydrate.
There was a chick where I literally went and got 2 plastic mattress covers. Yeah, it was bad.
No, because I remember.
And it was crazy because when I see that, I don't even think about me. I'm just going for it. Like, how bad can I get it? You know what I mean?
Shit.
I totally lose focus on even me. I'm just like, oh wow, this is wild.
Oh, I'm gonna have to buy a whole new bedroom.
That's all right. I don't care. Fuck it. I'll deal with it when I'm done. How messy can I make it? You know what I mean? Because then you start to feel like the man, and it starts to feed into your ego and shit. Well, at that point, I'm not even worried about me. You do you, girl. Let's get this. Let's get it.
No, because I remember, Doug, I had a friend that had told me that he had to take this chick to like the emergency room or something because she was like so dehydrated or something. And I was like, shut up, Doug. Whatever. Bullshit, mister. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened, right? And then this happened, a few years later. And I was like, she didn't have to go to the emergency room or anything, but we literally like had to like get some water in her. She was feeling sick. And I was like, yeah.
I had a situation where this girl wants to play backdoor games. And, it didn't work out too good for her. And she made me go to the doctor with her the next day and sit there while she explained what happened.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, Doug. It's crazy.
I've been scared of that door ever since, bro.
Oh, shit, Doug. yeah, but anyway, ain't none of that making it into the show.
Rough out here.
Yeah. Time. I'm just gonna say the word time. So I know
We gotta switch gears.
Let's switch gears. We need to have at least part of this go to the real show.
Goodness.
Oh,
I don't know what.
See what you did, Dirk. See what you did, Dirk.
Thanks, Dirk. Hey, you know what though? It was unique because we don't go on that tangent very often, and you know what? Most people probably won't care for it. Some people are gonna love it because they're gonna have similar stories where they can relate. Oh well, bro. Thanks, Dirk. You got us there, and appreciate it.
Oh man, but yeah.
Hey, but you know what though? It lets the listener also know that we were little cochinos back in the day, and it kind of also validates our stance a little bit because when I say that it's not so bad if, a woman does it to a kid, he probably should be 15 or 16. Like, he should be able to drive a car. But if he can drive a car, he can drive his teacher. I'm just saying.
If he could drive a car, he could drive that ass, right?
He can, and he wants to.
All right. TikTok clip right there. He could drive a car, he can drive that ass.
They should just lower the limit, right? For dudes, it should be 16. For chicks, it should be 21.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Fred was at the resort. Doug, there's this page I found on Facebook, and it was like suggested to me, and it's suggested like through your algorithm, and it's called it's called Retro Girls with Curves, right? And and you see like they colorize these pictures from like the 50s and shit or whatever, and you see like how like in a more HD looking picture of something from back in the day. And dog, there's so many fucking on there that are so bad, but I think it's because right now you could open up Instagram or TikTok or whatever right, and there's a million right, but a lot of them they all have the same work done, right?
No, but they got filters and shit too, though. Them broads don't look the same in public because even stars don't look the same in public.
Well, even Covino and Rich mentioned they know a girl that catfishing everybody, right? And you look at these chicks from back in the day and you're like, fuck, they were real curves. They were real, like if they had they
were thicker than a king size Snicker, they were thicker than a king size Snicker.
And it wasn't all manufactured, right? Like
no,
it and so
but the new shit looks better though. Because if you go to a good doctor, like them damn Kardashians, I don't know what doctors they go to, but a lot, except for Kylie's lips, I think she way overdid that shit. But like they look perfect. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen the other ones.
Yeah. But no, I agree though. Yeah, they get them Kardashian doctors, but even them, they've had so much fucking work that they're looking like all plastic and shit. Not that they're not bad because they are, but it's just different. What I'm saying is it's just different when you see these like retro, you're like that. And it's crazy because
they even still got La Bouche.
Well, it's crazy because a lot of them, if you look at, you're like, probably back in the day, this thought of as like maybe kind of fat or some shit, and then you look at him now and you're like, nah, that has curves,
perfect.
Like it's crazy. So, but yeah, it's called Retro Girls with Curves on Facebook. If you guys are want to check it out.
My perfect girl would have 30C. They would have C headlights with a Cadillac trunk.
30?
No, they would have C's. C headlights.
Oh, I thought they said 30.
No, you remember them Lincoln Town cars from like the late 80s where they had a little hump on the trunk? They would have a Lincoln Town car trunk.
Yeah. Oh, I feel you. Of course. You know what I was thinking about? Covino and Rich, I know they've been putting like effort into getting on these shows, these, Burt casts and again, whatever, Tom Segura's Your Mom's House or Felipe Esparza show or whatever, which they're
welcome on our show.
They've been on a few of them, right?
You're welcome here.
But what I think, okay, now it's going to make it sound like I'm going this direction and I'm not.
All right.
But what I was going to say.
I'm just talking shit. I have no idea what direction you're going in. I'm just talking shit.
Okay, so what I was thinking is I was like, you know what? These dudes need to find,
but they're welcome.
Of course, always open door policy. They could do every show with us if they want. But what I feel like would be, I'm not saying they should do. I don't want to should them, but what I feel like would be cool is if they found people like even I don't know if Mark McGrath has like, Sugar Ray. I don't know if Mark McGrath has like his own podcast or anything, but I'm saying like people.
You said Sugar Ray like that made a damn difference, and I know who the dude is. Well, who's Mark McGrath and Sugar Ray?
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed. I know it's not mine, but if dog, you have to have heard that song. Oh, I just want to fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. All right. How the not know Sugar Ray, dog? Like for
I've
real.
heard more Little Nas X songs.
Okay. Well, anyway, Mark McGrath. Okay. Famous dude in the 90s, right? Whatever. Still very involved with them.
I sure as hell wasn't listening to that in the 90s.
But it was... No, I know. But I'm saying it was like... You couldn't have... You walk into any grocery store and they were playing them on a loop.
Bro, I was hustling. I was not walking. I was going to liquor stores. I didn't go to grocery stores. The hell am I doing at 15? No.
Okay. Anyway.
Sorry.
Besides the point.
Okay.
So, Mark McGrath, they still have a good relationship with them, right? And so I'm saying if he has like a podcast or something, I feel like they have a good relationship with him. Why don't they, instead of, coming on these shows like the fucking Your Mom's House and, whatever, Burtcast and all this, which would be dope. But rather than putting so much effort into doing that and having like a one-off, you go, like they went on Felipe's show, right?
Right.
They went, it was a few months ago, not a year ago. I think what would be dope would be to, like I said, find the Mark McGrath, and whoever people that they're friendly with, that they have these relationships with, that have their own podcasts and shit.
Because I don't have a clue who he is.
Well, I'm saying basically build their own, like, how Joe Rogan has like his little clique.
Here's how it works. You go underground hip hop. You start trading. Invite them on your show first, and then they feel obligated to have you back on theirs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is rather than, because like Joe Rogan has like his own little group, right? And he has
Alex the fucking crazy man.
So like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Shane Gillis, and Mark Normand, right? They're all these dudes have like their own little group. Why not network with like Mark McGrath or somebody, whatever, that has a following, but you guys are really friendly with? Like you said, invite them on your show, you go on their show. So I know they're trying to do that, but I feel like they're trying to do it with the wrong people. And even though it sounds like the right people, because these people have massive followings,
well,
rather than... No, but I'm saying don't waste your time with them. Because, yeah, it would be dope, but it'll be like a one-off, you go on there, whatever, which would be probably cool for you. But why not make your own network of podcasts that you're going to go on regularly? They're going to come on you regularly. That's how I've found a lot of podcasts. That's how people find a lot of podcasts. Oh, this dude was on your show. Then you hear them on their show, like you mentioned. Then, you like to see them in their element. You get to see them on the show that you like already. But I'm saying build their own little community instead of trying to get in, or instead of like thinking, we'll make our way into something that's already established. Establish your own shit. I think that would be cool.
So I'm kind of the opposite. I'm the opposite.
Why?
I think what they need to, because it's what I did with when I had my music label back in the day. What they need to do is invite people on their show, and it's already being filmed and videoed, and show them such a good time that everyone wants to go on the show. Rich have his gummies out. If you invite weed smokers, let them puff. Have some blunts rolled for them. Have a couple margaritas.
They're not going to do that though. That's not their kind of show.
Well, maybe not that, but just make them. You don't have to do any of the weed gummies or the trees or nothing like that. But make it kind of like it's a business expense. They're already. You said they got an LLC, right? So all this shit to wine and dine a guest to make them feel super special, and the presentation you put for the viewers, dude, it's a write-off. Yeah. I don't know if it's champagne or if it's mimosas, or if you order from one of the expensive places in LA and you cater lunch. Like, make it an event. If you get a Felipe Esparza to come on, do shit that people are going to talk about that makes others want to come and enjoy that too. Make it special, and again, mine was hip hop, so it was different than what they would do. But I made sure that when Yuck Mouth and Mac Dre and Messy Mark came through, I had the best weed, and I had that rolled up, and we had, VSOP Hennessy and everything, almost like a writer, right? Do you know in show business
Yeah.
that celebrities have writers? I'm not saying let people make a writer to go on Covino Rich's show, but make them feel so welcome, like you really took care of them. And because you stream it anyways, anybody else that's watching is going to want to maybe just go for the experience. It's not just about the trade. Make it an experience that people want to be a part of.
Yeah. No, and I completely think that's a really good idea. But the only
give them
thing,
merch, send them away with merch and some shit, and
the only thing I'm saying about that is like, I mean, I've said it already, but the only thing I'm saying is like I feel like there's more benefit in creating your own network or whatever. Like I think, like Doug, like we made friends with the That's Wild people, right? We
yeah,
we
of
we
course,
kind
yeah, they're dope. Tito and
so it's cool, and that was out of just networking and shit. And actually, started this little group on Twitter called the Network Familia, right? And it's like smaller channels like us that are us and Tito and E. There's one called Shut Up and Refill My Popcorn. And so
sure.
there's
although I'm gonna say that one got on my nerves a little bit. Like I couldn't get that shit out of my TikTok, dude. I don't know. I gotta say it. You can cut this out of the real show if you want to. I tried. I worked hard, but that dude had missing teeth and he wasn't funny. And I just was like, nah, I'm done.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like, it somehow got in your algorithm, right? And so like
it did.
But
shit wouldn't leave until I deleted it.
But what I'm saying is like, again, I feel like E had the right idea and
he did.
putting together and
bro, but that's where you got to stop there though. They're all the right idea. Anything you can do to get exposure, that's not the only way. Yeah, you should incorporate it. It's a great idea, but you need to take advantage of all of them. Yeah. Everyone has an idea that works. You might need to steal someone else's idea and make it pop for you. Maybe their idea was good, but they weren't doing it right.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
If you're trying to blow, I'm going to tell you straight up. I listened to Master P when he was from Richmond, way before the 100 million albums, right? I listened to him when he was selling like 5,000. I listened to SIBO back in the day. I listened to Yuckmouth. I've listened to a lot of people. Like Mac Dre's the underground legend. He was at my house, right? Before all this, still a legend, but not to the, he's like the ghetto Tupac right now. You know what I mean? Any of it. And everyone's tactic was different. But if you came to visit me and you say you and your lady came, or you just came by yourself and you're saying, Kukuli, I'm going to come kick it for the weekend. Aren't I going to show you a good time?
Yeah.
How would that change if someone came on your podcast? If me and you were in the physical presence and we were with Tito and E, we would have bought those chips. We would have supplied the challenge, right? Like you make people feel comfortable, and you have to. I'll tell you this too. In music, they said this is too. 85% of it's true and 15% of it's fake. 15% is real, 85% is fake. Image is everything. Your image is the most important thing that you can do. And you always have to look like you're doing it bigger than you really are, because that's what people expect. So when you do have people, put on something a little extravagant. You don't have to like spend thousands or no big shit, but there is little ghetto we talk about hood meals, right? We talk about ways to save money. There's a way to do this and make people feel like you went out of your way and you're providing an experience without necessarily breaking the bank. You just have to do shit that you know they like, which means you have to tune into them and you have to pay attention to what they talk about. It's not rocket science.
Yeah. No, 100%. I feel like, and like you said, there's a million ways to do this shit. And, but I think networking on their part, which I think they have the right idea, right? I just think that there can be a different way to approach it, you know?
But there's an argument for that, because they've had everybody on their show under the sun. And how did that networking work for them now? Now half these people act like they don't know them. So it works and it doesn't. Like, it doesn't mean that it's going to work forever either. You know what I mean? Like, they've had everybody on their show, bro. All the Maximum days. Where are those at?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The people that they have maintained these relationships with, like the Mark McGraths, like I was saying, these people that they really are friendly with, that they bullshit with, outside of the show, where they really are, like even Dr. Phil said, this ain't no Hollywood. I really want to hang with you guys. I think
as much as she gets on my nerves, get Nicole on that. Where's Nicole? She's come on the show all the time, bro. When they were at Sirius, get Nicole on there. Get some of the morning mashup people to start following the show,
or like even as simple, dog, as
Stanley T.
Covino going on Have Kids. They said,
right.
That's fucking easy. Hey, we're gonna record on Tuesday. It comes out on Thursday. Hey, Covino, jump on for fucking 15, 20 minutes, right? Have Rich and Nicole do their normal shit. Covino jumps on. They bullshit. People get to hear their vibe. People that would never listen to Covino and Rich.
Because they got a network. Where's brother? Get him. Where's Jose Mangan? Get him on a 15-minute episode. He used to come on all the time. Where's the guy, Sean the lawyer? He used to kind of talk like this. Like, they have a network. Start getting those people back on. I miss Sean the lawyer. I miss Barnando. I miss Jose Mangan. Get them back on for 10, 15 minutes at a time, because you'll make us OG listeners. Fuck, there's Bernardo. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's Bernardo. So that'll kind of get us going. But then Barry's going to tell however many people he is. You know what I mean? And maybe he can't. You just got to do you got to try. And it's hard. We can sit here and say this shit on our show, and it looks cute and dandy, and putting it into motion is a lot harder. But I think that's where I would start. I would get some of those old CNR connections that the OG listeners connect with that are actually friends, that you can get Barry to come on for 10 or 15 minutes, or Jose Mangan, or Sean the lawyer. No?
Yeah. No, I think you can. And that's just where I'm thinking, is that just, and I don't want to say they don't, because I'm sure they have millions of meetings around this shit.
Of course they do,
but
sure.
But I'm just trying to, if they ever heard this, maybe we can spark another idea here or there,
because we don't know it all. If we knew it all, our shit would be popping, right? Like, these are just life experiences that I've seen, suggestions. I mean, we could do more too, and it's easy to sit back here and give our input. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing to put it into action. So I understand and respect that. We just, we wish the best for these guys, and if we can say anything that makes any type of difference.
Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens, and come and spend a day in the 757.